In today's video, Democrats are already politicizing the shooting at Florida State University. Also, more details emerge about Letitia James's mortgage fraud investigation. And in breaking news, the senator from Maryland gets to sit down with Mr. Garcia.
New details coming just a short time ago about a mass shooting at Florida State University in Tallahassee. 2 people are dead, 6 others were injured in that attack. Officials say the suspect, who is in custody, is the son of a local county sheriff's deputy. The suspect allegedly used one of the deputy's weapons in that attack.
The events all began just before noon right near the center of the FSU campus. A 20-year-old man pulled up in an orange Hummer. He got out with a shotgun and a handgun and began firing, shooting at people. The 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner. He's the son of a sheriff's deputy and actually used his mother's handgun to carry out the shooting. The 20-year-old shooter was confronted by police almost immediately as he began firing. He refused to comply with their demands and was shot and wounded. It took 3 hours to clear the massive campus. Many students say they were traumatized by what they saw today.
All right, now this is a tragic situation. There's no doubt about it. My heart goes out to the people who did lose their lives and their family members and anybody else that's been impacted. I hope that people are able to find some level of closure and the questions are able to be answered. But listen, my focus is more on the reaction. And I'm talking from the mainstream media and people in Congress, because it's just disgusting. And I'm going to show it to you how people were even trying to take what President Trump said out of context. So there's a lot of hypocrisy that you're about to witness here. Let's start with what CNN did as they brought on some Democrat who actually attends the university. He's all into politics, and they used him as a prop to say that this is the fault of the president and the adults in our country. Take a look.
This is not the way it should be. It's just not normal for this stuff to happen constantly, over and over and over again. I live 2 minutes from the Capitol here in Tallahassee. And if I were to go speak to the legislators here, specifically, I believe the Republican legislators who are passing these types of bills that allow this stuff to happen, they're going to give me thoughts and prayers. And I don't want to hear that, because there's people dying actively, constantly from these kinds of shootings. It's ridiculous that we continue to deal with this. They actually just, to take it back again, they just passed another bill to have the longest tax holiday in the entire state history to promote gun ownership in this state and ammunition ownership. It's just, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, and it doesn't have to be this way, but we keep doing it. We keep going down this road, and I think all of us as students who, see this constantly, but also, knowing each other and being friends with all of each other and having such a community here, I think it's really up to us to kind of lead the way on this, because the legislators and specifically Republicans in this state are not helping us in any real way right now. And it's awful to see.
All right. Well, right after this tragic mass shooting, what are you seeing? Even before families are getting answers, you're already seeing Democrats rush to blame Republicans. That's why CNN brings on this political hack to make their case for them. He's young, right? People probably will be more credible and, more empathetic to what he has to say because he is a student at the university. But what people don't know is this guy is all into politics, okay? He's looking to run as the Florida vice chair for the Democratic Party, and he's only 20 years old. So I would call him a political hack, pushing a narrative, someone who's not really trying to uncover the truth to this particular tragedy. And he's not the only one pushing the narrative. Here is Senator Whitehouse on MSDNC saying this.
Joining us now, Democratic Senator from Rhode Island, Sheldon Whitehouse. He is the ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Subcommittee on Federal Courts, Oversight, Agency Action, and Federal Rights. Senator, I thank you so very much for your time. As always, I want to just start our conversation with first your reaction to what happened there in Tallahassee.
Once again, it is kids paying the price of our adult irresponsibility at creating gun safety for them. And it's for the worst of all possible reasons, which is the influence of the gun industry itself.
Yeah, we still, as I said, there's still so many questions on this, and it's just such a horrible tragedy.
And here's the other side to it, ladies and gentlemen. Democrats are trying to score political points in regards to this tragedy. Not one Democrat will come out and actually talk about the mental health crisis that is occurring on their side of the aisle. They seem to be reluctant to criticize the deputy, who obviously, for whatever reason, her son gained access to the firearm. No. It's Republicans' fault, and sooner or later, it'll be Trump's fault. And guess what? We already caught someone trying to do that. First, I want you to hear what President Trump said, and then I'm going to play you a clip of what Democrats say that he said.
Thank you very much, everybody. And I've been briefed on the Florida State University, Tallahassee active shooting. I guess it's an active shooter. Fully briefed as to where we are right now. It's a shame. It's a horrible thing. Horrible that things like this take place. And we'll have more to say about it later.
Yeah, so then this account called Patriot Takes, which is a Trump deranged X account, it's almost up to 2 million views. You know what their caption was? Trump on the FSU student union school shooting. Quote, things like this take place. Just despicable. And that's why in the comments, everybody's obviously fact checking this individual and, you know, providing the actual full statement where he said, hey, we're going to get to the bottom of this. It was a shame. It's a horrible thing, et cetera, et cetera. This is similar to the Fine Hoax situation. And here's a Democrat congressman by the name of Jimmy Gomez. He says this, things like this don't just take place. No student from elementary school to college should fear for their lives while receiving an education. My heart is with the FSU family today. We must end America's gun violence epidemic. You see how they try to manipulate it and score political points? And even Rapid Response had to say something. They said, why didn't you include President Trump's full quote? It's just shameful.
There are now 2 deceased following that shooting at Florida State University. Following and amid that, is there any changes that you want to see to gun legislation? Anything you see broken with gun laws in our country?
I'm going to have to look. I'm a big advocate of the Second Amendment. I have been from the beginning. I protected it, and these things are terrible. But the gun doesn't do the shooting. The people do. It's a phrase that's used probably too often. I will tell you that it's a shame. I'm just hearing about it now. I just hear about it. I know the area very well. I know the school very well. I know everything about it. It's Florida. And we'll have more to say about it later.
What do you mean when you say there will be more to say about it?
Only in terms of what happened. As far as legislation is concerned, this has been going on for a long time. I have an obligation to protect the Second Amendment. I ran on the Second Amendment, among many other things. And I will always protect the Second Amendment.
Today's video is sponsored by Aura, and I got to tell you what they did for my wife. So she was getting about 40 to 60 spam calls a day, and I'm not exaggerating here, but Aura was able to get that knocked down to about 6 a day. Now, understand something. If you're getting spam calls like that, chances are your personal information is leaked somewhere on the internet, and Aura can help you find out exactly where that is. Now, they don't just block calls. They also monitor your credit, protect your social security number, scan the title of your home, track financial transactions, and even offer parental controls to keep your kids safe. It's been a game changer for my family, and I know it will be for yours. That's why Aura is offering my viewers a 100% free 14-day trial. Just go to aura.com/Devori. Again, that is aura.com/Devori, or hit the link in the description below.
I think it is understandable that there is a frustration from Americans that this continues to be part of our daily lives, and that if there aren't laws to be held that are going to change this, if there aren't new rules or changes in the way that guns are regulated, then this may be the only way for people to feel as if they're making a difference.
Brad Todd? Well, Florida law doesn't allow you to carry a gun on campus. So he was violating a law before he ever pulled the trigger. And that's the challenge. You can't legislate someone to not do bad things to other people. We still don't know much. We don't know his state of mind. We don't know his motive. We don't know his health or his emotional stability. All of those things are going to tell us a lot more.
So listen, it's the same song and dance every time a mass shooting occurs. Politicians are looking to score political points and push a narrative. This happens on both sides of the aisle, to just be fair here. And the problem with that I have is that the actual victim does not get the attention that they should get. And also the problem is actually never solved because we're too busy playing politics with each other instead of just coming up with a actual solution. Now, there may not be a solution in this scenario. You know why? because the guy broke the law in order to go commit crimes and murder people, okay? So it wasn't like there was a law in place that encouraged this behavior. Now on to our next story. You guys already know that Letitia James has been referred for prosecution by the DOJ for mortgage fraud. Here is Jim Jordan providing more details on why this is something serious.
This may be the biggest irony I've ever seen in American politics, that she's now, it looks like she's engaged in the same thing she charged President Trump with. I mean, turns out you can't have your principal residence in Virginia and be the Attorney General of New York. Turns out you can't on a mortgage form say that your dad is actually your husband, and you also can't say that you got a 4-unit property that's actually 5 units. Those are the 3 things that it looks like she did over a long period of time, and yet she had the gall to go after President Trump. You got to be kidding me. So, yeah, I think this is real. We'll see. Her comments so far, she's been kind of quiet. Of course, she does a typical thing the left always does. The left will you know, they'll always accuse us of what they're doing. And the other thing they always do, the left will tell a lie. Trump did something wrong. Big media will report it. Big tech will amplify it. And then if you tell the truth, they call you names. And that's exactly what she did. I think she called President Trump and his administration bullies for simply pointing out that it looks like she lied on these forms, and she did it to get better terms and a better rate on the loans. So she was doing it for personal gain, and you're not supposed to do those kind of things.
So a county official has actually sent a letter requesting that the state suspend her law license. Here's the actual letter here. And it reads that these allegations raise serious concerns about the integrity and professional conduct of Miss James as a member of the New York State Bar. Moreover, given her position as the state's chief legal officer, these concerns necessarily implicate the manner in which she handles matters on behalf of the people of the state of New York, including residents and institutions within the county and throughout the state. I believe it's appropriate for your office to review these matters under the applicable attorney conduct rules. Okay, now here's an entertaining clip where the Daily Caller physically went to the homes that she put on her applications to see who actually lived there.
Hi there. I'm a reporter with the Daily Caller News Foundation.
Goodbye, you're trespassing.
I'm sorry.
Trespassing. My kids are out here.
I understand. We mean no trouble. We're just curious who the occupants of the home are,
Don't
because
worry
there's
about who's occupants. That's none of your business.
well there are connections to
Okay, but
New
you're
York Attorney
trespassing.
General Letitia
That doesn't
James.
matter. You're trespassing.
Are you related to
You're
Letitia James?
trespassing. You're trespassing. Go in the house.
Do you know
You're
Letitia James?
trespassing.
No? Okay.
You're trespassing.
No comment. Thank you,
Don't
ma'am.
pull up to my house no more.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a good one.
It's gonna be fine.
You will.
Now, if you're paying attention and you heard it like slightly there, the daughter said no. And then the mother or whoever she is to that young child screamed and said, hey, you get back in the house. So I think we got the answer we were looking for. Clearly, they don't know Letitia James. So she's probably renting the property out and don't know them personally. And obviously, this is all speculation, right?
There's a car parked in the driveway.
Hello there, ma'am.
No comment, you're trespassing.
No comment?
Yeah, you're trespassing.
Okay, well, who lives here?
You're trespassing.
Who lives here, ma'am?
No comment.
No comment. Okay.
The president of El Salvador has posted this. Kilmar Garcia, miraculously risen from the death camps and tortured, now sipping margaritas with Senator Van Hollen in the tropical paradise of El Salvador. He's posting pictures of the actual senator meeting with the deported migrant who obviously the Trump administration has labeled MS-13 and a wife beater. And the point of this, which is what Eric points out here, let me break down the trolling for everyone. One, Bukele plus Trump Abbott now prove Kilmar Garcia is bodily fine, not mistreated. Two, a sitting Democratic senator is now on camera having margaritas with an illegal alien declared to be a member of MS-13.
As the senator wrote, quote, I said my main goal of this trip was to meet with Kilmar. Tonight I had that chance. I've also called his wife Jennifer to pass along his message of love. I look forward to providing a full update upon my return. You can see there, of course, the senator sitting down, meeting. We also know he met with El Salvador's vice president yesterday, as he and others in his party have been fighting to bring Abrego Garcia back to the United States.
Now, as you guys can see, the hat that he's wearing is Super Bowl. They have him dressed, presentable. And here is the senator looking so concerned. I wonder if he took a meeting with Rachel Morin's mother. Oh, yeah, that's right. He did it. So this is Democrats taking the bait, and they will continue to lose on this. Now, let's go to this other story, which happened earlier today. And we're talking about Austin Metcalf's father, Jeff, showed up at a press conference on behalf of Carmela Anthony. This is the teenager who stabbed Austin Metcalf and is currently out on bail. Well, things didn't go very well because they called the police and escorted him out. Now, this is the father who said he had forgiven Carmela Anthony. So why did they treat him that way? Well, here's the explanation.
And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who is not invited. He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words. Okay? What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting nonstop about this case.
Well, listen, I mean, people are always going to post about these cases. I mean, it's a national story at this point. So what do you expect? That's number one. Number two, the father has forgiven Carmela Anthony. He said that on the record. So it didn't seem like he was showing up with some misconceived or ill-advised thoughts to, wreck the press conference. Which leads me to number three. This is what's wrong with some black people out there. That it doesn't even matter if someone shows you true love and forgiveness. They don't even know how to react to it. Now, here's a clip of him being escorted out.
If you take a look at your screen now, what you are looking at is video of Jeff Metcalf being escorted out of the co-working space where the Next Gen Action Network's office is by Dallas Police. You see that there. Jeff Metcalf, the gentleman who was wearing the sunglasses and the blue shirt, who's being escorted out, is the father of Austin Metcalf, who was the teenager who was stabbed and killed in the tragedy 2 weeks ago. He is being asked to leave.
Yeah, so here's the fact of the matter. Dominique Alexander, okay, he didn't have to make that atrocious statement about Jeff Metcalf. He could have not even responded to it. They still could have called the cops, had him escorted out, but didn't even speak on it. He decided to politicize this situation. He decided to place the race card. And that's why Bob Woodson went on to Fox News and had this to say.
It's just moral and spiritual perversion at work here. My sympathies goes out to the Metcalf family. But this is taking race grievance to a whole nother level. And what we're doing is we're taking the violent actions of this young killer and turning him into some kind of folk hero, with thousands of dollars are being raised to defend him. Merchandise are being sold. And it is a perversion. If this kid, if Metcalf was black, we wouldn't hear about it. In my work, I have interviewed a mother who lost all 4 of her sons to black-on-black murder before the age of 30. There are 13-year-old black girls being convicted of murder. So we have a real crisis, but it is not a racial crisis. It is a moral and spiritual crisis that is, and it is spiraled downward and is consuming this nation. And so, and it won't be solved with therapists. The only thing that can solve it is a moral and spiritual presence.
Now, that was Bob Woodson. He's a civil rights attorney, and he hits the nail right on the head. See, the problem is not white people. The problem is not these conservative operatives on social media. The problem is not the police. The problem is black people themselves, okay? There are some black people in the black community that actually do more damage to other black people than anybody else in this world. Now, I call it the devil, and that's what he's up to, is finding ways to destroy our faith. And he's been very effective, in my opinion, in the black community of doing that. So because it's black and white in this scenario, everybody wants to talk about it. But when it's black on black, everybody is silent. Now you answer the question, why do you think that is? And this takes us to the end of this video where I want to get your guys' reaction to everything that took place. Let's focus actually on the senator who got to sit down and take some nice photos with Mr. Garcia. He was nicely dressed. Clearly, he was not battered and bruised, as Democrats would have you believe, given the way that they describe the prison. Again, this is Democrats taking the bait. What do you guys think about that situation? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, earlier today, CNN dropped a devastating poll for Democrats. It showed the massive support for President Trump and what he is doing with these deportations. If you missed out on that video, more stories from earlier today, all you have to do is click on that video because it's coming up right now.